Here we are. This is May 14th, 2017. Unbelievable. This is Rachel.
Hi.
It's one of my dearest beloved crew members. She's going to share today's Sunday salutation. Let's go ahead. This is Mother's Day. She graciously reminded me, and I always laugh. I used to say every day is Mother's Day. But let's go ahead and let's just start soft today. And you can keep your eyes closed or open, however you wish. And let's just all come into the same car, as it were, for this while. And go ahead and salute your breath in its current state, the ever-present reminder of this life and death and the thing in between. This is a poem by Swami Vivekananda in Salutation to Mother Kali. The stars are blotted out, clouds are covering clouds. It is darkness, vibrant sonnet. In the roaring, whirling wind of the souls of a million lunatics just loose in the prison house, wrenching trees by the roots, sweeping all from the path. The sea joins the fray and reaches mountainous waves to reach the pitchy sky. The flash of lurid light reveals on every side the thousand shades of death begrimed in black, scattering plagues and shadows. Come, mother, come, for terror is thy name, death is in thy breath, and every shaking step destroys a world forever, thou time, the all-destroyer. Come, mother, come. Who dares misery love and hug the form of death? Dance in destruction's dance. To him, the mother comes. Now, at the outset, that could be very disturbing. But many years ago, my dad, who some of you know, my stepfather, who essentially saved my life, said that if there was one poem that I had to memorize, it was that poem. That was many years ago, almost 40 years ago. And I would highly recommend you looking it up. There's a lot in that. And if you get past your mind and read it from your heart, you understand it's really about surrender. It's not about death. It's about actually penetrating the idea of death, which is what Christ also spoke of, which comes from acceptance and discontinuing separation. So we have a situation in our hands. We've all grown in a womb, and then we enter life through separation. It's a very interesting paradox, isn't it? Mm. We're connected to our mother, and then we have to separate from her. So birth is the great separator, and then we have to live many lifetimes to realize that we can always go back to her at any time. So if we think of that at a bigger scale, that God has allowed us to separate, that level of love is not unlike the love of a mother. So just like our mother, the pain that they go through to birth us. How do you think God feels? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wow.
As a mother, having to see us make choices that are painful, that are hurtful. And regardless of how you feel about your mother, if you're still hung up on what she should have done, what she shouldn't have done, too bad for you. Too bad for you, because this weekend we've been discussing you're giving up your freedom to hold on to a story. You're giving up your freedom to hold her in a state of bondage. I would highly recommend you giving that up and salute her as the vessel and the vehicle for bringing you into this friggin' life. Be willing to put it down. Grow up. Just today. For once. Let's just reflect on the mother. Take away the personality, take away everything, and just be willing to bow to this human being who had to make many sacrifices to have you. Things you'll never hear, things you'll never be told, or perhaps you've been told excessively. Regardless, give yourself the freedom of giving her humanity and saluting her and being thankful that she was the vehicle. Be willing to give yourself that today. Because quite frankly, the relationship you have with your mother is the relationship you have with God. Now, the interesting thing is, and the tradition I hail from, the idea of seeing God as mother is the highest, one of the highest ideals. Because ideally, you are completely dependent on her. That's sort of the underwriting theme of a lot of what I'm always talking about with people. To have that level of just complete surrender to her is quite freeing. And the idea of, you all know that I've worked with Kali quite directly. Kali destroys anything in the way of love. Anything. And because we're so attached to certain things, it looks painful and it looks destructive, not because of her, but because of us, our attachments. So mother has many faces. Sometimes she's Kuan Yin, and sometimes she's Kali. Mother. Would you like to speak to it? Or do you have a question?
I think maybe just to share my name as I understand it, Rachel.
It's one of the old biblical.
Latin.
Yeah.
And Latin means motherly. So I guess that was coming to mind as you were speaking.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And just embracing that more. Myself, my name. Myself. Yeah.
Well, that's a wonderful segue. It's like, how How do you mother yourself? How do you attend to yourself? And this goes for men and women. Do you know how to mother yourself? This would be something to reflect on. How do you mother yourself? How do you attend to yourself? How do you nurture yourself? Do you know how? Do you need to learn? How do you feed yourself? What do you feed yourself? Do you know how to change your diapers? I don't know, there's some crazy statistic around. I don't have the right number, so forgive me, but it's out there, like, our mothers or the person who cared for you like 33,000 times or some outrageous thing. So if nothing else, man, salute her for this, huh? She wiped your ass. Can you? I mean, this is a very moving topic. Clearly, you guys can see. I'm going to keep this short, or else I'm going to be wailing in a minute. But so, sticking with the concept of mother as God as mother, how many times has she wiped our ass? Very humbling. And even though we want to sit in our shit, she still will come and wipe our ass, even if it looks violent and harsh. She's not going to let you sit in your own shit. In other words, she'll never, ever forsake you. You may forsake her. You may run from her, but she will never run from you. She'll always be there when you're done with the games and the tricks, the stubbornness, the petulance, the disrespect. She'll always be there for you. Even when you're not there for yourself. What amazing, it's a love that's unspeakable. Can you just vibe into that right now, guys? It's right here. It's closer than your breath. Her love is all pervasive. Let's just, the last couple minutes, let's just sit in that. And go ahead and open all the cells of your body and breathe in her love. She doesn't want anything from you except to receive her love. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is receive. What human relationship is that like? None. Right?
Right.
So, very simple. Doesn't want anything from you. Okay. Thank you. Let's read this little thing. I'm just etching the Tao to this page. This is chapter 41. This is my favorite little, I absconded with this from one of my students. We'll get back to her at some point. Thus it is said, the path into the light seems dark. The path forward seems to go back. The direct path seems long. True power seems weak. True purity seems tarnished. True steadfastness seems changeable. True clarity seems obscure. The greatest art seems unsophisticated. The greatest love seems indifferent. The greatest wisdom seems childish. The Tao is nowhere to be found, yet it nourishes and completes all things. I'll end on that. All right. Thank you, Mother. Another day in paradise. You got to do it with me.
Okay, I can do that. I'll do that.
All right. God be with you. Happy Mother's Day. Be well.